This is the Valdus VL60 Pro, and it's mostly designed for women, but on my wrist, I think it's a tiny bit sexy. Okay, here comes some legal guff. Disclaimer, the watch was provided by Valdus, but no money has exchanged hands, and all opinions are mine. The first time you see this video is the first time they'll be seeing it. Let's get started. So when it comes to the design, I like it. In fact, I quite love it. It's sleek and slim, and it's meant to sit closer to the wrist so that it doesn't stick out too much for that nice and elegant look. The on-screen bezels are actually pretty thin, and it's quite impressive how thin they've gotten them, because considering its price point. It's a metal build, and that extends to the strap that is given. It is a Milanese strap with a buckle, so this thing is very secure, and it's nice and, well, once again, elegant. This thing looks great. My only gripe is that the only button on this watch is, well, it's a button, but it technically also functions as a crown. But this crown is very difficult to twist, and once you twist it, it kind of has this bug where it keeps scrolling the pages, so I found that just scrolling using the screen is perfectly fine, doesn't cause any problems. I did email Valdus about this, and they just said that it was due to the high touch sensitivity of the display, and that models shipping from then on kind of wouldn't respond that way. I'm hoping this is true and this isn't just a PR response. Thanks for responding though. Nice guys. This is definitely a very weighty little watch. It's heavier than the CMF watch that I've been daily driving, but it is still thinner. Just as an example, this is the CMF Watch Pro 2. I haven't used this in over a month or two, just because I've been looking at this the entire time. And I have to say, I don't miss this at all. This thing is big, it's bulky, and it's definitely not my type. As much as I love that watch, this feels a lot better on the wrist. Thanks to the AMOLED display that they've dropped onto this watch, it also functions with an always-on display. Now this does drain a lot of battery life, but considering the size of this watch, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with charging every day, every night, or something like that. And yeah, it's just cool to have a watch that fits so well, sits so flat that it just slides under the cuff of my sleeve every time I wear something long sleeved. It does also have a raise to wake function, but I found that I never really used it. It's just slightly janky and a bit annoying to, get activated, considering it doesn't actually work as intended. And it does heart rate tracking, exercise tracking, sleep tracking, apparently blood pressure tracking, and SpO2 tracking. Now I can't speak to the sheer accuracy of it, but having such a feature existing on this watch is nice to know. I have this tracking my heart rate 24/7, and it's useful. By the way, this isn't Google's Wear OS. It's not running any form of Google software. In fact, it is running a sort of formatted real-time OS. If you're unfamiliar with what an RTOS is, it's a really kind of free and open source way to get an operating system on your watch. In fact, it's similar to what the CMF watch has. Now the weird part is that after using this watch for so long, I realized that I didn't really want to switch back to the CMF watch. And there's a very special reason as to why, and I actually mentioned it during this video. It's the design. I'm fine with losing a bit of functionality, losing a bit of software smoothness, but if it means I get a much better looking experience, hell yes. I'm willing to compromise slightly, not too much to the point where I end up using a active band, but this is a good middle ground. They actually also sent over this other model, the VG40 Pro if I'm not wrong, and the review for this is coming up soon, but I have to say I much prefer the OS running on this thing. So they call it Cricky OS. It's also another one of those real-time OSs, but I much prefer this one because it's much smoother, it's got much better animations, and it might be because of the battery, the sheer size of it, but the battery life is a bit better. Like, a lot better, even with an always-on display, and it has a functional raise to wake. So, Valdus, please, if it's entirely possible, OS on this, form factor of this. If you're interested, there is an affiliate link down below where you can support the channel directly by buying one of these. It's nice, it's fun, I love the feeling of it. Channel memberships are also live, so if you want to get videos a week in advance, check it out. It's down in the description or next to the subscribe button. Click that join button and join up the channel. I'll see you guys next time. Have fun.